Hey everybody, thank you for taking a minute to pause to ponder with us tonight. I have a quiz for you.
Oh geez, I didn't study.
Right? What do these three things have in common? China, rose, cereal.
This was on the radio station Friday, and I got out of the car before I found out what the
You know,
answer
okay, then you gotta think. What's the answer? China, rose, cereal.
I heard you the first time before you yell. I don't know. I've thought about this all the way on the work, and then I had to get out to go into work, and I never heard the answer, but this was on the radio station. What is it?
They're all bowls.
Come on!
Isn't that a Super Bowl answer?
Wow.
Oh,
I got it. You see how
yeah.
that came around full circle? That's actually really good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow.
And by the way, on the radio, it took 2 people to call in and get it right. I had it when she said China.
I heard it and I couldn't figure it out. Anywho, welcome to Pause to Ponder, our Super Bowl edition. How's it going, everyone? Are you a 49er fan or are you a Chiefs fan?
What are you?
Neither. I just want it to be a good game. I could care less.
I'm a Packer fan.
Kind of an NFC guy, so I would like San Francisco to win, but...
Actually, I'm actually going for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because they're physically closer than San Francisco.
Sure. I could care less, but I just want a good game. I'm looking forward to the commercials.
And the food.
And the food. Boy, we got some food going. So, yep, it's going to be good.
Okay. So what should we talk about then?
Yes, I want to talk a little bit about the 2 teams in the football, in the Super Bowl, and how it's relevant to us. So if you think about the football players, they're at the top of their pinnacle. I mean, you think about this. This is the biggest dream. In fact, this is a dream since kids were just learning how to walk. You know, I remember playing at recess. We'd play football every recess in grade school. And it was always talking about the Super Bowl. And with 1 second left, you throw that bomb for a touchdown and you know, you win the Super Bowl. These players today are at the pinnacle of their career. Many of them may not ever make it back there. So, you know, you can't guarantee next season that you're going to do that. But they're at the top of their game in their respective teams. So my question to you out there, and I want to pose a question to you, is where do you go from here?
Okay, so pause.
Does that make sense? Where do you go from here?
Time out. Because as you talk about people being at the top of their game,
Yeah.
many times the visual that I have in my head is a mountain. And you're at the top of the mountain.
At the peak.
At the peak.
Yeah.
I don't like this visual.
Why?
I don't like it at all because when you get to the top of the mountain, the only place you have to go is down. You have to just come back down to sea level or come back down to reality, come back down to daily life. So, but that's just not the case. I mean, these players are at their pinnacle. They need a next goal. I think about the Patriots for the last how many years they've been like in the Super Bowl. And if you just reach the pinnacle, then why would you go play another season? But they do, and they come back to the Super Bowl again and again. Back when we were in college, it was always the Dallas Cowboys were always in the Super Bowl. So the whole idea of a mountaintop peak and being at the top, the summit, and getting to your goal, climbing to your goal, is really demotivating for me because of that downward climb that you got to do. And I don't ever want to think about downward success. I mean, there is no downward success. I don't want to think about having to come back down to climb again. So can we have a different visual here? Can we think of something different than the top of their peak performance?
Before we leave the mountain reference, I want to ask the viewers, where does everything grow on a mountain? Think about that for a moment. If you got a bird's eye view of a mountain, is there a lot of growth and life at the top?
I would say that as I'm looking, like when we used to ski and we went out to Colorado and we skied and we'd look out, the beauty was in the valleys.
Yeah.
That's where like all the green was. And you know, the top of the mountain was snow because the snow stuck to the side of the mountain, which had nothing else.
And it was pretty barren, wasn't it?
It was.
My point is that there's not a lot of growth that occurs at the top of the mountain. These guys have done a great job getting to the Super Bowl, and like we used the word a lot of times, the pinnacle of their career. But but there's not a lot of growth that occurs there. The growth appears in the valleys, sometimes
Okay.
when we're being challenged the best.
But they get to the Super Bowl, they're not at their peak of the success in life. There's still more growth. I mean, whether it's Tom Brady going back again next year to
Right.
the Super Bowl. Well, not
Right.
this year, obviously. But, there's always more growth. So if you're saying it's in the valley, but I'm at the peak of a mountain, and there's still more growth, I still don't like the visual.
I get it, and I agree with you. I agree with you. My point is that was a little sidebar, a hidden gem, if you will, for you viewers. There's not a lot of growth that occurs at the top of the mountain. But what else can we look at? Instead of someone being at the top of their peak of their performance, and really the only place to go when you're at the top is down, and we don't want that to happen, right?
Yeah.
So what other reference, what other metaphor can we throw out there?
I got one.
Bring it.
I think of life and success more as a ladder, and it's a never-ending ladder, and there are new rungs that we step up to, and we may have reached a goal, and now that goal is your new minimum or your new low, and now we're going to go up another rung.
Right.
In my sales industry, in my sales job, I had an order come in today for $298, and John said, "Wow, back in the day, that was like a party for you, not an order." Well, this is my new norm. A new norm are $200 to $300 orders for me, because I've stepped up on the rung and I've figured out some things, some systems to just help create higher sales for the whole show.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it, is more like this ladder that we just keep climbing and we keep climbing, and there is no reason to go back down. Now, there are times I do go back down, but I'm not purposely going back down to sea level
Right.
like I would have to on a mountain. I go back down on accident and I got to keep climbing back up, and that ladder just never ends.
So if you think about it, now we used two metaphors. We used a mountain, we used a ladder. And really, they're fugazis. They don't exist. The mountain doesn't really exist, and neither does the ladder. They're just metaphors. Really what exists is your mindset,
Yeah.
your paradigms up here. My word for 2020 is excellence, because everything that I do, I want to achieve excellence. And now I have 10 ways to making that happen. So if I have a presentation, a keynote, and I knock it out of the ballpark, and you know how everyone is so very kind, and, well, we'll just say they're very kind to you. Do I rest on that? Absolutely not. Not if my word is excellence, that I have to continue. Now, you celebrate a win 24 hours. That's what we're taught, right?
Yeah.
John Maxwell teaches us celebrate wins for 24 hours, mourn defeats for 24 hours. But after that day is over with, you got to go on. It's all over. Even the wins, you're done. You cannot rest on that.
Right.
So we go forward. We continue to get better, and we continue to get better. But it's all predicated on what is up here. So you're at the top of the game. I know a lot of people who watch this. They are very competent. They're wonderful character people. They do great at their professions. I would say you guys are hitting on all cylinders. But is that good enough?
Right.
Keep the mindset that we continuously need to grow. We can get better. Never the best, but better, right?
That's right. That's
So,
exactly right.
Best
And
is the enemy of better.
It really is. It really is a mindset. I hate to conquer a goal and be like, "Oh, I did it. I'm done." It's kind of like running. I ran a marathon. I'm done running forever. No, because you've just conditioned your body and you've realized the amazing benefits to your body. Why would you quit forever? Now it's just a new rung on the ladder we're going to step up onto.
Yeah, and it's a continual uphill climb. And what does John say? We want to live an uphill life, but we have downhill habits. And if you think about it, I look out my window and there's snow out there and sledding or skiing. It takes forever to get to the top of the hill, and really quick, you're at the bottom again, okay? You go a lot faster going down. Our mindsets are exactly the same way.
Yes.
If we keep living an uphill life and create our desires and work hard every day, when we get up there and we experience some success, if we plateau or even take it easy and become complacent, before long, we're back where we started.
Really quickly.
Yes, and it could take like a year to get back up there, but it only takes
a second.
A second to be
And you're
down,
down.
right? It really does.
It does.
So it's all about your mindset. We want to challenge you to become the best version of yourselves. And we truly want to walk alongside you on this journey. And our desire is to challenge you and to look at things a little bit differently.
So I have this note on my refrigerator. Because in December of 2018, actually I'm sorry, it was November of 2018, I quit on myself. I quit my mindset. I was going for a trip for Hawaii, and I settled for a trip to Scottsdale. It was a great trip. My point is, though, mid-November, my creativity stopped, my ambition, my hope, my excitement, all stopped. It was 2 weeks into the new year, I realized how I could have made Hawaii if I went to shut down my brain. I don't care if you're sitting on the final minutes of a goal. You're not done until it's done.
Right.
So don't quit on yourself. Don't lose your creativity and your hope and your excitement. People will follow your emotion. So if they feel you going down, they're coming down with you.
It's true. And this is hard to do when you're by yourself. That's why it's important to have someone that can support you.
Have an inner circle.
An inner circle. And I'll tell you what, as viewers of Pause to Ponder, you need an inner circle, you need a soundboard or anyone, let us know.
And I'm glad, if you're watching, I'm glad that we are part of your inner circle. I'm glad you do participate and listen to what we have to share, and I'm glad you really internalize it. So be great. Be great. Change your paradigm of what the top really looks like. It's not a mountain, it's a ladder.
That's
and really consider what's the next rung that you're stepping up into.
And continue to strive to be successful. You guys are already there. Be greater. Be greater than that. So, happy Super Bowl Sunday. We thank you so much for your faithfulness. Give us that thumbs up if you like what we're doing. Again, share any ideas that you would like us to talk about in future, I almost said podcasts, in future videos. And let us know, okay? Have a great night. We love you guys.